Hello dear friends, Fisher here. Today we continue with our beautiful stories, The Power of the Spirit by ALFRED, HOSP, also known as Freddy in the book. And then we continue with the conversation Bruno had with the friends in Vienna. And then because there was arguments among ladies, and then Bruno showed them about his Camel cigarette package. And then some people saw the pyramid, some people saw the camel. So, and Bruno basically pointed out, everybody seeing it from the limit understanding. So we all see one side of the story. So we both see truth. Partial should be partially truth. And then there's information missing. So we should give up our limit understanding of the reality and then give up our conflict and then to have understanding among each other. And then, but the ladies, they were still arguing among each other, and then Bruno became quite unusually angry and then shouted, "You are small spirits. If you are not prepared to sort out this nothingness, you must all bear the consequences of your thick-headedness. But then, when your body has become burdened due to this, no one will be able to help you anymore. And it will also have become impossible for me to go on visiting the Viennese friends on account of occurrence such as this. So then, what do you prefer? To serve evil out of sheer self-opinionatedness, or to continue treading the common good to God with understanding? Decide. Otherwise, I'm not going to waste any more time here. Take note of one thing for your future lives, dear friends. Where strife, lack of unity, and jealousy prevail, the divine can never become effective." And then the friends all looked shocked, because Bruno normally very, very warm, very softly spoken person and calm. And suddenly when he shouted, and everybody got shocked. And then only a few minutes later, and then the ladies gave up their stubbornness and then became reconciled and holding each other's hands. And Bruno later said, "Today was not easy. It is often inconceivable how much evil people can carry inside them, and they then still believe they have the right to go on behaving in such an obstinate and blind way, and I couldn't intervene at all at first. It was only when all three women, of their own inner free will, had made a decision for the good, and that it was possible for me to free them from their false disposition." So it's very simple here, dear friend. As what Bruno said, a human being always they argue among each other for nothingness. Often little things like will create arguments between the friends, the strangers, partnership. Little things, we argue over little things. I've done it like in the past with my wife. So it's a different way of thinking. I notice like the way of thinking, it can be quite different. If you are a normal thinker, when I say normal thinker, will be like a mainstream thinker, that is easier because you probably share the similar thoughts with most of people. But if you are a very minority thinker, and then you'll find that's in the world and then in the people around you, and then the way of thinking is quite different. Actually, the way of your thinking is quite different, and then you don't fit in the social group. You'll have few friends. It's very hard to communicate with them unless you go into a group like with like-minded people, and then you find your little group and establish yourself there, and then with share the similar thoughts. Yeah, and human being always out of our egos, and then we tend to have a jealousy over each other. So if like my my sister had a toy, or if my sister had an icy pole, if my sister had an ice cream and I didn't, I tend to get jealous. This kind of feeling unfairness arrives deep inside us. It's always there, so we always want to be so-called fair. If somebody has one thing, we must have it too, especially when we are little. I clearly remember when I was quite young, maybe 7 or 8 year old, and then my dad bought some sweet drink, or more like a sweet milk for my cousin, and didn't buy it for me, and I felt jealous, like somehow I want to have it too, because my cousin having it, I want to have it too, especially as a children. So you have that kind of jealousy. I don't know where it come from. It seems it's deep down in the roots of human nature, and I hope I'm wrong. And then when you grow up, you tend to grow out of it, and then you see it in the world. You don't have to have whatever others have, because you're different. Everybody lives a different life. So yes, dear friends, and then another thing is the lack of unity. Human beings, very funny, often we will fight among each other. We seldom sort out our conflict in a peaceful way. We don't tend to reach like our hands out to other parties. We like to do whatever the way we want, of course, again, out of our egos. And then we don't strive for the common good. We strive only, most of the time, for our own good. But that is okay. Everybody, you should love yourself first, but you should not only love yourself. 50% time you think about yourself, 50% time you think about others. There's a common good. And then, of course, it has to be based on the right knowledge. You can will good for others, but you must have the right knowledge. Otherwise, you only bring harm to others. So always be careful what we can suggest. So the divine can only become effective when humans give up the conflicts, give up the jealousy, and strive for the common good. And then divine will work, because the free will, as Bruno later on said, out of free will, and I cannot intervene. And people have to decide. People have to decide what they want for themselves. If they want a good, I can help them. If they want evil, I cannot help them. It's very simple. Dear friends, you are what you're striving for. Striving for the good. And may you have a good day, and God bless.